Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because today we're diving into something that might seem a little silly at first. But trust me, it's super important for understanding our furry best friends. We're talking about what happens when humans bark at dogs and why it's more complex than you might think. Stick around because by the end, you'll see your dog in a whole new light. It's a common thing, right? You see your dog, you get excited, and sometimes a playful woof woof just slips out. But have you ever stopped to think about how your dog actually interprets that sound? It turns out it's a lot more nuanced than we might imagine, and even small differences in tone or body language can completely change the message your dog receives. First off, barking is a fundamental part of how dogs communicate. It's their way of expressing everything from excitement and joy to warnings and anxiety, forming a rich, nuanced language that humans can only partially interpret. When we try to mimic this, even playfully, it can create a bit of a communication breakdown because our barks often lack the subtle cues and context that dogs rely on. Dogs interpret barks based on a whole host of factors: the tone, the intensity, the rhythm, and crucially, the body language that accompanies it. These elements combine to form a message, and our human barks often miss these nuances. We might think we're being clear, but our dogs might be getting a very different message than we intend, which can lead to some interesting and sometimes confusing situations. So, how exactly do dogs process our attempts at barking? They're incredibly perceptive creatures, responding primarily to the tone and intensity of our vocalizations. It's not just the sound itself, but the energy behind it. And dogs are masters at reading that energy. For instance, a loud, sharp bark from a human might signal to a dog that something is wrong. They could perceive it as distress or even anger, even if you're just trying to be funny. On the other hand, a playful, high-pitched bark could be interpreted as an invitation to play, and your dog might get excited, wag their tail, and try to engage you in a game. That's usually the outcome we hope for, but it's not always consistent, especially if your dog is having a low-energy day. Now, imagine a low growling bark coming from a human. To a dog, this could mimic a warning or even a threat, and their instincts might kick in, leading to a completely unexpected reaction. Dogs are masters at combining auditory cues with visual ones. They'll take the sound of your bark and immediately pair it with your body language to interpret your true intent. Are you smiling? Are you tense? Are your movements stiff or fluid? These details matter more than we realize. Their responses can vary widely. They might show confusion by tilting their head, get excited and ready for action, or in some cases display defensive behaviors like stepping back or raising their hackles. Watching their reaction closely gives you important clues about how they are interpreting you. One of the most important things to remember is that dogs love consistency and predictability. They thrive when they understand the rules and routines. When a human suddenly barks, especially unexpectedly, it can disrupt this sense of normalcy. It's an unusual sound coming from their primary caregiver, and it can be quite jarring, even if you're just trying to have fun. This disruption often leads to confusion and stress. Your dog might not understand why you're making that sound or what it means in the context of your relationship. You might notice subtle signs like whale eye, where the whites of their eyes become visible, signaling discomfort or anxiety. Other signs include displacement behaviors like lip licking, paw lifting, or excessive yawning. They aren't tired, they're coping. If your dog backs away after you bark, that's a clear signal they need space. Chronic or repeated stress, even from seemingly harmless interactions, can negatively impact your dog's overall well-being and erode the trust they have in you. Something we definitely want to avoid, especially if we're aiming for a calm, happy, and confident dog. Barking is instinctive for dogs, deeply ingrained in their nature. They use it to alert their pack or ward off threats, which is a survival mechanism. When a human bark mimics aggression, even unintentionally, it can trigger these defensive instincts. Your dog might perceive it as a challenge or warning, responding by barking aggressively, growling, or even showing teeth. You might also notice pacing, circling, or a stiff posture with raised hackles. All signs of unease and readiness to defend themselves. Dogs prioritize tone and energy over specific sounds, so a harsh, loud human bark can be perceived as a direct challenge, no matter your playful intentions. This is why understanding the subtlety of canine communication is so crucial. Dogs are social learners, always observing and adapting to their environment. When you bark, your dog might think you're joining their conversation, leading to a burst of excited barking, howling, or jumping. They may run in circles or display other high-energy behaviors, thinking you're engaging them in a game. While this can be fun in the moment, it can inadvertently increase your dog's vocalization over time. They learn that barking at humans gets attention, whether it's a playful bark back, laughter, or even just a glance. This reinforces the behavior, which can make training more challenging if you're trying to reduce excessive barking. Nonverbal cues often speak louder than barks. Dogs are constantly observing posture, facial expressions, and energy. Tense or confrontational body language can make a dog feel threatened, regardless of the tone of your bark. Consistency is crucial. There needs to be harmony between your tone, actions, and body language. If you want to convey playfulness, use a relaxed posture, a soft gaze, and an open stance. These signals communicate friendly intentions far more effectively than any human bark alone. A dog's reaction to human barking can vary with age. Puppies and young dogs might become overexcited, jumping up, or even playful nipping, since they're still learning boundaries. Older dogs, with more life experience, might ignore or actively avoid the interaction. Their reactions reflect personality, past experiences, and current emotional state, so observing each dog's unique response is key. So, if barking isn't ideal, what can you do instead? There are many ways to interact positively and strengthen your bond. Use familiar words and short, clear phrases like "good boy," "sit," or "let's go." Toys are also great to redirect attention and energy. Fetch, tug-of-war, or puzzle toys provide both mental and physical stimulation. Always reward calm behavior with treats or praise, reinforcing what you want to see more of. You can also mirror your dog's energy in ways they understand, like play bows or gentle wrestling, which are natural canine play signals that dogs readily recognize and appreciate. Ultimately, understanding your dog's communication needs is vital for a happy relationship. Using clear, consistent, and positive communication builds trust and mutual respect. Positive interactions ensure dogs feel safe, secure, and loved, learning that we are reliable and predictable. By paying attention to their body language and choosing better communication methods, we build a deeper, more meaningful connection with our canine companions. It's about speaking their language, not just mimicking their sounds, and noticing the subtle ways they show love every day. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe for more tips and insights about our furry friends. And don't forget to check the description for links to products that can help you interact and play safely with your dog, making every moment more fun and rewarding.